continuation to our discussion about Lord Shiva. In this part 4, I want to know about Lord Shiva as Adi Shakti.
Yeah. Lord Shiva, also known as Adi Shakti, is one of the three most revered gods in Hindu mythology. Trinath, Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva is known as the destroyer or the transformer. He also knows as Bhole Bhandari. Shiva is known as one of the most benevolent gods in Hinduism and one who showers his devotees with immense love and yet destroys those who do evil. Shiva is known as Mahesha, is also venerated by thousands of other names. My dear Shiva, the most auspicious one, Shankar, the one who bestows prosperity, Shambhu, the source of all joy and auspiciousness, and the God, the easily pleased one, Asutosh, Bhole Bhandari, the all-pervasive one, Ishar, Maheshwar, the Supreme Lord of the universe, Rameshwar, the Lord of Sri Rama, Someshwar, the one who wears a crescent moon, Gangadhar, the one who carries the Ganges on his matted hair, Sulapani, one who carries a trident, Trinetradhari, the one with three eyes,
Sir, please.
Pananabhushana, one who wears snakes as garlands, Umapati, the Lord of Uma, Parvati, Suraguru, the teacher of the gods, Neelakantha, the one with a blue neck, Vishveshwara or Visheshwara, the Lord of the worlds, Mahadev, the Lord of all the gods, Tripurantaka, the annihilator of the three cities, the abode of demons, Rudra, the fire swan, Mrityunjaya, the one who has conquered death, Sarveshwara, the one who is all powerful, Sadashiva, the one who is always auspicious, Bho Gauri Shankara, the auspicious Lord, who is the husband of Mother Gauri, Chandrasekhara, the one who wears crescent moon as ornament, Hara, the one who destroys, Lingeshwara, the one who is worshipped in the aniconic form of Shivlinga, Nataraja, the king of dance, Mahakaleshwar, the great lord of time, Bhikashadana, the mendicant, Bhairava, the fearful one Achala, the non-moving one. Ajanma, he one without births. Akshaya Guna, the one with endless qualities. Amritu, the deathless one. Ardhanarishwara, the one with a feminine form in his harp. Ananya, the one who is never sick. Ananta Drishti, the one with endless vision. Anantasri, the one with infinite. Onutama, the one who is above all. Aprameya, the immeasurable one. Banahasta, Banahasta, one who wields arrows in his hands. Bhadrapriya, one who always wishes to do the good. Balanetra, the one with an additional eye. The word is Bhalanetra, the one with an additional eye in the forehead. Jatadhara, Jatadhara, the one with a matted hair. Bhasmapriya, who is fond of holy ass. Bhuteswara, the god of all the devils. Chandramoli, the one who wears crescent moon as his crown. Dakshinamurti, the south-facing god and the giver of all knowledge. Drudavarta, the determined and the most disciplined one. Pashupati, the lord of all beings. Hiranyavarna, the one with a golden hue. Kapalin, Kapali, the one who wears a garland of skulls. Lalataksha, Lalataksha, one with an additional eye in the forehead. Omkareshwara, the embodiment of Om, the primordial sound. Badyanatha, the Lord Shiva, is the Lord of all Vaidyas, doctors. If you look to the medicine science of medicine, you can see that our Indian medicines are most ancient, whose supremo is Lord Badyanatha. His disciple is Dhanvantari, Ashwini. Then you will get Charaka, Susruta. So from the ancient age, all health is protected by Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Badyanatha. Could you understand?
Yes, sir. Sir, now you have explained all the names of Shiva which we worship with their meaning. Can you say something about the Gangadhar Swarup?
Gangadhara Swarupa Murti, Gangadhara Murti, Gangadhara Swarup. Simply Gangadhar refers one of the 18 forms or Murti of Shiva mentioned in the Karangama, the fourth among the Siddhanta Saivagamas. Gangadhar established through a process known as Sadaksha, described as fivefold process of creation.
Sir, why Lord
Gangadhar, the meaning, in this case, Ganga's force, The force of Ganga represents arrogance, while Shiva represents the strong mind. The story tells us that the strong mind will always overcome the arrogance and the forces of temptations within, and calls for followers to develop the mind as that of Shiva and be a part of Gangadhar. Gangadhar means holding the Ganga. Lord Shiva, Persian with the name Gangadhar, is the holding of Shiva, Ganga holders. Ganga, the goddess who personified the river, the Ganges. Could you follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why Lord Shiva is considered as a drug addict? Is it true?
It's really ridiculous. Mahadev Shiv as an addicted personality. The modern society, my dear, considers Lord Shiva as Aghori and drug addicts. But how this idea has formed in this society? If you will get chance to communicate with Aghori, who has chosen the toughest path of the spirituality, then you are able to realize Aghoris. Aghori sadhus extremely dangerous in the society by imagination. But the real meaning of Aghor is a ghor, which means not ghor. In simple term, who is a very compassionate form of Lord Shiva's, or by Lord Shiva itself. In modern times, the meaning has changed. Actually, they are the people who live in secularism or close to nature while avoiding materialistic and temporary things. My dear, people consider Aghoris as meat eaters, fish eaters, and performing black magic to acquire some unusual powers. But this is not the fact. The real fact is something else. Lord Shiva gave us the path of Tantra. He is our Guru of all Tantras. In this path, my dear, there is 5 practices. Madhya, Matsya, Mansa, Maithun, Mudra. Madhya, it is not Madhira, it is not alcohol. Its actual meaning is when we roll back the tip of our tongue and sit in a posture called Khechari Mudra. In this posture, melatonin juice is secreted from the mouth. This stimulates our third eye, better known as pineal gland, which will control our sleep cycles. Do the consumption of that secreted juice called Madhya. In the modern era, the word Madhya got associated with liquor and alcohol, but its actual meaning is consuming melatonin hormone in its natural form, which is already present inside our body. And in this process, it will help to control our sleep, which is considered very important for a yogi. And the sides after Madhya, you are coming to Matsya. Matsya is the general metaphor, represents our journey as a fish in this cosmic ocean. Mean how we can live in this world while maintaining our individuality, while remaining true to ourselves. Just the fish is present within the muddy surface, within clay, but the clay will never touch, the mud will never touch the fish. And the fish is swimming as our prana, chetana, is in swimming postures always, very much dynamic. And that is Matsya, who is swimming in this illustrative world. So Madhya, Matsya. And Mansa. Mansa, generally we are thinking about meat, but it is wrong. In modern era, Agori is normalizing the consumption of meat in the society. But Shiva means well-being of our body, because we have two types of body. First is a physical body, and second is most important, that is etherical body. Etheric body, which is soul, Atma, Antaratma, also known as astral body, Atma. So achieving well-being of the physical body by practicing external yoga, which will start from Manan, Chintan, Dhyanam, Pranayam, and it will go up to Samadhi. And yoga is called Mang Sadhana. Then Maithun. In normal stage, Maithun is the Mooladhara, root chakra. Our spiritual energy is dormant. And in Khechari Mudra, when we perform this mudra and simultaneously do the 7 types of pranayama, breathing exercise, then our spiritual energy starts to move upwards, Urdhva Urja. And when this energy reaches our Brahma Sthanam, Brahma Chakra, crown chakra, located in our uppermost head, this union is called Maithuna. The union in between Atma and Paramatma. This is not sexual intercourse between males and females. It is something divine. It is serene. It is unison of soul and the cosmic soul. And the 5th one is Mudra. Mudra, the position where we can lock our energy, performed by our thumb and finger by actually joining our index, finger back with a thumb like a rattlesnake in a kundali position called Mudra. So there is no proof, and it's just a misconception that Lord Shiva is a drug addict. Shiva itself is trying to detox our etheric Atma, and he become Nilakantha. Then how he will be drug addict? My dear, try to understand. For the betterment of our daily life, he is the symbol of all yogic practices. He is the guru of all the gurus. So never think in this way.
Then why people consume cannabis or ganja in the name of Shiva?
Many things were intentionally misinterpreted by the people to justify their own addiction. It is the medium of weak people. My dear, mentally weak people always blame the spiritual path. They don't know that spiritual path is developing on the base of complete science and beyond the science. This path itself becomes a misery for them to forget this misery. They drink alcohol, smoke, and take drugs, which they call Lord Shiva's herb. But it actually charas, cannabis, opium. The real fact that they themselves are a drug addict and are making other drug addicts in the name of religion. There is no proof I could found that Lord Shiva used such stuff, and by selling drugs in the name of the religion, they are making money. This is the safest way to bring drugs in the society, but it is really meaningless and animalic expression.
Sir, is Shiva considered to take marijuana or bhang? Please clear. Is he a drug consuming god?
My dear, Shiva is a god and biggest Vairagi. So don't think about addiction in front of him. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
Never think. No text of our Vedic culture and civilization, the Indology, never say all these things. It is completely banned to Hindus. Could you follow?
Yes, sir.
Shiva did not smoke weed, marijuana, or any other drugs. But when some practice is popular, there has to be reason behind it. Shiva never consumed drugs or any smoke, which is mentioned in Sanatan Dharma books.
Sir,
Could
is
you
he called?
follow?
Yes, sir. Sir, is he called Bhutnath? And what is the meaning of Bhutnath?
My dear, whenever we are talking about Bhutnath, then really we are talking about the Bhuta Preta Pisacha, Jogini, Baital, Rakta Pipasu, Jaksha, Rakshasa, Bhuta Preta, all categories. There is existence of ghosts, which generally literate people deny. But to ignore the reality is also not correct. Bhuta Preta Pisacha are the servants of Lord Shiva, and they are under the command of Lord Shiva, the Supreme Master and Lord of all embodiment. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
First, we need to understand the word Bhutnath. Two words, Bhut and Nath. Who is the god of Bhut? Then what is Bhut means? According to Sanskrit language, Bhut means past. And Bhutnath means god of or Shami of past. Here the word past is very important. It does not mean the past thoughts of incident happened with us at a particular point of time. But it's different. Here past means the present which we are seeing. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So Lord Shiva considered as the god of souls, spirits, and ghosts. He is the source of mystical energy and the destroyer. Could you understand?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Shiva is the originator and controller of all bhutas. Panchabhuta, Khiti, Op, Tej, Marut, and Bhum. Khiti of Tej, Marut, and Bhum, by which this body is composed. So he is the creator of it, under whose command the development of living organism takes place. So Shiva engrossed in his own thoughts. Narada, who was passing by, saw him. Could you understand?
yes, sir.
Therefore, he is the symbol of creation, he is the symbol of destruction.
Means you want to say that I asked, is he called Bhutnath or what is the meaning of Bhutnath? You want to say that Bhutnath means he is the lord of all the Bhut, Pret, Pishacha. And also
Yeah.
he is also the
And
lord of...
I have told he is the king of the past who represents the present.
Yes, sir.
And I have told he is also Panchabhuta,
Yes, sir.
Guru. Means he is composing Khiti of Tej Marut Bhum, this Panchabhut,
Yes, sir.
and giving or making the creation of any living organism.
Why does Lord Shiva live in graveyard?
My dear, what story actually we have to know about Narada, who was passing by, saw him. Shiva engrossed in his own thoughts. Shiva also realized it is the true that graveyard is the best place to stay. He went to graveyard and applied ash to his body and started doing meditation there. So Shiva is Shashanbasi, the resident of graveyard. So when you will go for meditation, you have to keep your conscience, Mano, Chitta, Prana, isolating from every contaminated world. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is Shiva static or dynamic?
Huh?
Is Shiva static or dynamic?
He is both static and dynamic, and is both creator and destroyer. He is the oldest and youngest. He is the eternal youth as well as the infant. He is the source of fertility of all living beings. So he is Lord Shiva. My dear, Shakti is the dynamic aspect of creation, who represents force, energy, movement, transformation, and associated powers. There are many aspects, forms, and names of Shakti, who is the mother of all. In creation, she distinguishes herself or through the will. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
Through the will of Shiva into three basic aspects. Shakti is the dynamic power of Shiva through which he manifests the worlds and their myriad objects and beings. Shakti is the dynamic power of Shiva. Could you understand?
Yes, sir. Sir, please.
Shakti is manifested by Shiva only during creation and is withdrawn into himself at the end of creation. He brings forth the worlds and their beings through his will and dynamic energy. Shiva and Shakti, eternally separate entities, through in their pursuit, or you can say it is the purest state. They may be of the same essence. Shiva is only the efficient cause, while Shakti is the material cause. Shiva initiates creation through his will, using a pre-existing Shakti or Prakriti, which is independent on him. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
So according to the Advaita Vedanta of Sri Shankaracharya, the world in which we live is unreal and only Brahma is real. Monistic schools of Shaivism differ from the Advaita philosophy in this regards, because they consider the worlds as well as Shakti, who is instrumental in their creation, are all real, because Shaivism is saying Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satyam, Shivam is pure, and Sundaram is perfect. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
So true is Satyam, pure is Shivam, and perfect is Sundaram. Cannot create anything that is unreal, asatya. So Shiva, Shakti, all the tattas are beings and objects that they are created out of them are real. Could you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What are the 5 supernatural powers of Shakti?
There are many aspects and forms and names of Shakti, who is the mother of all. In creation, she distinguishes herself through the will of Shiva. 3 basic aspects: Parasakti, Aparasakti, and Para-Aparasakti. Parasakti is the transcendental energy, and Aparasakti, immanent energy, and Para-Aparasakti, an intermediary energy. So supernatural powers of Shakti awakened in us by the name of Shiva. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It is the way of manifestation which is responsible for the multiplicity, plurality, diversity, and duality of the beings and objects and their forms and shapes in the manifested worlds. What you were asking about the 5 aspects of Shakti manifested, these all 5 aspects, these all 5 aspects of Shakti manifested by Shiva are Chita Shakti, the power of consciousness; Ananda Shakti, the power of bliss, consciousness; Ichcha Shakti, the power of desire or will; Kriya Shakti, the power of action; and Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge. So Shiva unleashes these 5 powers in the beginning of creation and withdrawn them back into himself at the time of dissolution. In between, he employs these energies for the purpose of creation, srishti, preservation, sthiti, sanghara, destruction or modification. Tribhuva, concealment, and anugraha, revelation.
Sir, you have mentioned about the lower and higher worlds. Please give light on the manifestation of the higher and lower worlds.
My dear, Maya Shakti is the willing power of Shiva. Shiva uses this aspect of his Shakti to conceal or reveal his powers, depending upon the degree to which these powers are revealed. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
World order or the divine order becomes established. Shakti is also known as Mula Prakriti or primal energy. In creation, this primal energy is divided into 36 tattas or principles, in which some are pure and some are impure. In the creation of higher worlds and their beings, Adhikara, whenever we are talking about the higher worlds, then what we are getting?
Higher world.
Adhikara muktas. Shiva uses 5 pure tattas. Shiva manifests himself completely without concealing his supreme state. The 5 pure tattas are Shiva tatta, Shakti tatta, Sadashiva tatta, Ishvara tatta, and Sudha Vidya tatta. In these planes, Shiva and his Shakti are inseparable, or you can say it is indistinguishable. These are the planes of supernatural gods whose consciousness and will work together for perfect harmony. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
Which results upon his will. Maya Shakti is pure, inconsequential, and ineffective. But when we will go to the lower worlds or planes, the distinction between Shiva and his Shakti becomes more pronounced. In the gross beings with physical bodies and gross objects, we find the purpose of creation being finally made. As Shiva manifests himself in these planes through his power or Shakti, we see a gradual withdrawal of his supernatural powers and his supreme state. So Shiva employs the impure tattas to create the bonds and impurities in the beings and subjects them through Maya Shakti to the goals of creation. Though these beings are the same as Shiva in their true state, because of the impurities, they experience the limitation of Kala, time, Vidya, knowledge, raga, emotion, niyati, space, and kala, capacity and skill. Due to our ignorance, due to our ignorance arising out of these limitations, they also become bound to the impurities of egoism, maya, ignorance, and karma, action with consequences. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
there is the limitations of raga, which is produced through the conflict of passions. The limitations of space creates the difficulties in the movement. So the limitation of skills take away the power of perfection and efficiency.
sir,
And this limitation of knowledge creates a gap between knowing and becoming. Clear?
yes, sir. Shiva is the combination of Kala and Bhakti.
Yeah.
Please explain, sir.
According to Virasaivism, Parashiva of the transcendental Shiva splits himself into Linga and Anga. He also divides his energies also into Kala. Skill means, Kala and Bhakti, the two words are there. So Kala with the Samay, time, divides his energies into Kala, skill, and Bhakti means devotion. Kala is the responsible for the orderly existence, preservation of the world, while Bhakti is responsible for the liberation. Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
Liberation of the souls from their impurities.
Why is Shiva eternal?
Oh, there is a beautiful story related to God Shiva. Once upon a time, Brahma, the creator of the universal, and Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, wanted to find the answer to the question, who is Shiva? They wanted to understand him completely. So Brahma said, I will go and look for his head, and you find his feet. For thousands of years, Vishnu went down and down to find Shiva's feet, but could not find it. Brahma went up and up to find his head, but could not find that either. Could you understand?
Yes.
This meaning here is there are no feet and no head to Shiva. There is no beginning and no end to Shiva. Finally, they both met in the middle and agreed that they could not find Shiva. That is what the Shiva Linga is all around. It is a symbolic representation of the infinite Shiva.
What is the nature of Lord Shiva, sir?
Shiva is sublime. Shiva, Arupa, without any form. Rupa, Rupa, the formless form, and Swarupa, with form. So Shiva is Swarupa, Arupa, Rupa. The Arupa state is where there is no form, shape or color, implying there was no space, no time or no matter to use to describe Arupa state. Such state is possible only when the universe has not yet been created. The Arupa state of Shiva, which is beyond manifestation. Adi, Anta, beginning and end. Sankacha, Vistara, contraction and expansion. Prasarana, Abhisarana, spreading and converging. These are the qualities within it.
So we have known about Shiva, his forms, his nature, his manifestation, his Shakti. Now I want to know, how can we understand him completely? How can Shiva be understood?
If you are able to understand yourself by Anabhupaya, disciplining the ego, Anabha, meditation, Sattupaya, developing attention in silence, and Sambhupaya, freeing oneself from thoughts. Then only you are able to realize Shiva inside you.
Sir, can you?
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.